It's the most frightening thing ever. It's
a pterodactyl.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. We're here in Orlando, dude. Introduce yourself, man.
Well, I'm Kevin from VIOSO, and yeah, what else do you need to know? I'm Kevin Zevchik from VIOSO. I run the U.S. VIOSO office. Put my seatbelt on because I know you're going to try to kill me.
That's right.
Slam on the brakes.
Yep. Sorry. Safety first.
Yeah.
Safety first. So tell us a little bit about VIOSO for those young viewers that are watching that really aren't really familiar with VIOSO. First of all, before you get into it, I super love it. I super love the platform, the interface, the user friendliness. Before you get, I know I should have said that after, but like, yeah, go ahead and let us know what VIOSO is.
Well, yeah, so you were kind of introduced half-heartedly before, and then yesterday, you know, I gave you the full run through. But so VIOSO's been around. I think we're going into 16 years now since its inception. And it's a camera-based calibration system for warping and blending projectors together. It was started in Dusseldorf in a university in Germany by three German guys, Benjamin Fritsch, Emanuel Zuger, and a guy who I never remember his name because he's got one of those deep German names. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So these three guys, they developed this thing. They developed it originally to project onto textured surfaces and to flatten that surface out like that wall out in front of us. Like projecting onto that, you wouldn't see all that little texture and brick in there. But then they realized that they had much more bigger market to do multi-projection, and you know, they just kind of expanded from there. So Emmanuel and Ben started the VIOSO Corporation along with some other investors and such, and then the other guy went off to Disney Research, and so actually Disney's AutoCal is actually a lot of backbone of VIOSO.
Of the VIOSO interface. Oh yeah, okay. Really cool stuff. Lots of questions right now because I know Evolve ties into a lot of corporate, a lot of theme park, a lot of tour, you know, just a little bit of everyone. And I really want to ask your take on a little bit of everyone. I don't want, you know, obviously it's a lot of mappy stuff, and we have some corporate stuff with VIOSO. So I really want to kind of, you know, broaden that conversation, you know what I mean? So to back up a little bit, so how many offices does VIOSO have?
So at VIOSO proper, we only have the two offices. So we have the VIOSO America office, which is here in Kissimmee, Florida, and then you have the VIOSO home office, which is in Dusseldorf, Germany.
Cool.
We have partner offices and, you know, partner companies throughout the rest of the world. You know, we got a partner in Mexico and stuff, but carrying the name, it's just those two offices. Okay,
so VIOSO, Pulse Box, right?
Mm-hmm. Warp Station. I'm sorry.
And then you spoke about media servers, right? So let's talk about that workflow a little bit. So the one that I'm really excited to get into is there's also obviously there's a Pixera workflow that is integrated within Pixera. Yep. So talk to me a little bit and a little bit about that, and like the boxes that is VIOSO friendly.
Yeah. Well, I get that question all the time.
Sure.
It's easier to tell you the systems that VIOSO is not friendly with, because there's a lot more of them than we are than there are than we're not.
Sure.
So you know, I'll be Disguise, and Disguise has got its own.
Sure.
OmniCal. And then Resolume and Mad Mapper and Modulopi. Those are the four main media servers. It's a main media service, you know, mainstream, industry-wide media service that we do not have a current export for. So the rest of them, Pixera, Vertex, Pandora's Box, Hippo, Seventh Sense. I apologize if I'm forgetting people, but it's just too many to remember.
When you pull up the interface, I was real. Oh yeah, that's a big one. Like I was really impressed of all the plugins that was friendly with it. I was just
that first screen you come in and there's all the plugins.
The big one I'm really excited about was the Watch Out 7 one, and you know, catching it this early in its new release phase was, I think, really cool. You know, that's just me nerding out, but Yeah, I think we've kind of talked a little bit about it. Do you have anything you can share? Like, what's the funnest thing you've done? Do you have anything you can think of?
Yeah, funnest, huh?
Or
every project's fun. Every project has,
right.
I used to have this protege that way back in my I used to do animatronics way back in my animatronics days, and he used to always say the best thing. It was every project is a prototype, and it's really true. I mean, I had a lot of fun doing the pyramids out in Mexico. We did the Super Bowl dome for 2020. It was a giant dome at the time. It was the world's largest projection dome, and so that was a lot of fun. Not because it was a dome, but just because of the whole experience of it.
Right.
We actually sent our development engineer to the Super Bowl. We bought him a ticket, like a $5,000 ticket. It was like the last row in the stadium. But yeah, he had a good time. That was his dream, was to go to a Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. And from being from Germany, he obviously didn't think that was ever going to happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do a lot of cool museums. We do a lot of neat setups and stuff. It's just everything has its own story, and you go through it and you figure it out. Unfortunately, corporate events. I mean, it's sometimes it's just a widescreen.
It is,
and it's fun. But what makes those things memorable are the people that you're working with and the people that you meet. We were talking earlier about we did a Jay Leno show, and I literally smacked into Vanilla Ice during a show. I walked out of the video village and he was walking in. Yeah. And there was a corner, and we he was taller than me, so my face was in his chest, but we really smacked into each other.
Nice. All right.
Good morning. What can we get started for you today?
Hey, good morning. Can I please have a venti pike, please?
A venti pike, okay.
With cream and sugar, please.
Cream and sugar. How many sugars?
2.
2 sugars and cream. All right.
What would you like?
Tall pumpkin spice with a shot of vanilla. You can edit out this foo-foo drink,
No.
right?
I'm trying to get it right. Tall pumpkin spice.
Tall pumpkin spice latte.
Hi, can I also have a tall pumpkin spice latte?
With a shot of vanilla.
Tall pumpkin spice. Is it going to be hot or iced?
Hot.
Hot.
All right.
Shot of vanilla.
With a shot of vanilla.
All right.
And you can edit out the foo-foo drink part of it.
No, that's all. That's it, man.
All right, we'll see you in the window. It's $9.90.
Thank you.
So after we're done, I'll do an ADR of give me coffee with vodka.
Oh yeah. We'll get that in, but like it'd be really cool. We do have a little bit of shareable footage that I want to sprinkle into this of like the scan. So people can kind of see it, I think it'd be pretty cool to like, I guess as I do these, as people, because I have a projection mapping company, directors, and we talk about that creative process. And as I shoot these, I always see it in my head, like, oh, we should put this in just to kind of show what it is, so that's really, really cool. I was, again, I feel just sitting, taking in the system, I felt like it was really, really cool. Above all, efficient.
Whatever you say.
Especially when we were doing the like, being a colorist for projection and thank you, and like
coffee.
Cool, thank you.
Pumpkin spice. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good morning. What can we get started?
I guess I should have cleared all this out before, huh? So like me being able, coming from like the projection world, living in blends. Oh, cheers, by the way.
Oh yeah, cheers.
Tink. Living in the world of blending and coloring, and loving the challenge and perfecting the art of coloring projection with LED. I felt that the system was extremely efficient, the way it blended everything and we're able to add on to it.
So I'm working on a project now. We're actually going to do a POC, a proof of concept, at the end of this month. So I'm not going to say anything about the project, who it is, because it's a really tight NDA.
Sure, yeah.
But we are it's a set work that has an LED, giant LED, super high resolution LED screen inside with projection all around the set work on it, and we're tying the two together for it. We're using the VIOSO calibration system to move that all along, and then the playback system, which again I can't see what it is,
sure.
To synchronize the systems together. Or
really?
The projection, not systems, but the screens together.
Sure. I'm a huge fan of and this is a slow and painful process for those that have worked with. Like, I'm a huge fan of learning how to crawl before you can fly. I'm a massive fan of that. And you know, as even in our Resolute class, people want to get right into the magic, but I'm like, no, we're gonna spend one day of just like, we're gonna learn your way in and out of things, because it could be pretty complex. You know what I mean?
And I'm a fan of that too. And I'm also a fan of, I'm going to throw you in the water with the sharks. That's where you're going to best learn how to swim.
Exactly. So. That's the best learning process, man. So, okay. So let's say someone picks up VIOSO. What, do you have any advice for anyone new coming in? Like what to expect kind of deal, or?
This, you know, we kind of nailed this down yesterday. I was trying to nail it into the heads yesterday. It's your setup is going to determine how much time it's going to take you. And people always ask us, and we always give, you know, the blanket global statement of, this is so easy. We can do, you know, I can do a dome and, you know, 1 minute per projector. I can do these setups. You know, that's a 5 screen or a 5 projector setup on a curved screen. Yeah, it's no problem. I can do that in 10 minutes. But that's because I have the knowledge of camera setup and making sure that I'm going to be successful from the beginning. And so when you have that knowledge, when you know what to do, your camera placement, when you're going off center, you know, way off to the side of the screen, obviously it's gonna affect the perspective of how your calibration works, but it also is gonna affect how the light is seen off of that screen too, based on all the ambient and environmental lights that's coming in. So there's a lot of those nuances that you need to know before jumping into it, because again, when you talk to any VIOSO person who's knows how to do VIOSO, who does VIOSO for, not necessarily but for a living, but who knows how to do VIOSO, they always tell you it's easy. I mean, that setup is easy. That would take me 10 minutes, and then they go out to the site and they're like, it took me an hour and a half. And it's so it's like, but you got to know, you have to know how to set it up first. I mean, it's the same thing with projection. You can set up the projectors, but you got to know how to do your signal distribution too. So I mean, you can't just set them up, but you got to know how to do, you know, all the other pieces. So that's always the important thing. The other important thing is know that this calibration process is a live event. Anything and everything in the environment that could affect it will affect it. One of my favorite stories to tell is we have an installation in a popular attraction, and it was sitting there for a long time. We never heard from any of them. They never, you know, no support tickets or anything. But they called us up one day, frantic, and they said, we've done like 2 or 3 calibrations, and they keep coming out weird. They either fail or we get this blobby type of, it just doesn't look right. They said, we cannot figure out what's wrong. So we remote into it, and we just did a recalibration. So it was a permanent installation. Projectors were permanently mounted. Camera was permanently mounted. We did a calibration. It came out exactly the same. We're like, that's really weird. Let's take a look through the camera view. So we looked at the camera through the camera view, and there was a blob right in the middle of the camera. And we're like, oh, well, there you go. You got grease or something like that on the camera lens. So go clean that off. So they cleaned it off, and we didn't hear from him for another hour. And he emailed me afterwards, and he said, you're not going to believe this. He goes, you know, we went up there to clean the camera off. He goes, a spider had built a web directly in front of the camera. And the spider was sitting right there, smack dab in the middle of the camera lens. And he said, so that, you know, was doing the calibration. It was picking up the spider right there in the middle of the...
I can only imagine it comes out of calibration. I imagine a Spider-Man like logo, like on the projector.
Like the shadow.
Yeah. Like I was telling you yesterday when we mapped the Hoover Dam, like what, you know, animals extremely love the heat, right? But like it's the scariest thing at 3 a.m. that a bat will fly in front of the lens of a
like
projector, and it's like it's really big. It's the most frightening thing ever. It's
pterodactyl. What is that?
What So, okay, so like, let's say you go tomorrow, right? Hey, we need, you know, we have something, we need your help. What's in your toolbox? Like, okay, I need X, Y. What's your favorite one? What's your favorite thing? But what typically do you keep in your...
Despite, I usually know that the client's going to have his own camera system,
sure,
or lens, and maybe even a multi-lens kit. I'm always going to bring my camera kit, because I have cameras and lenses. I have all the cameras that we need in-house.
Right.
I have all the lenses that I've ever used before. So I know I have them all there. So just in case, again, because you never know. I mean, you could think that, hey, that camera's going to go there, and then you get on site and it's like, no, can't go there. So then you got to re-lens something or move the camera or something.
Right.
And then my other thing on my is obviously our laser. This is going to be in most people's toolboxes anyways. But yeah, our laser level and a measuring laser and a roll of painter's tape that one of my techs hasn't whittled down to about 6 feet left of it. But
painter's tape. So is that for marking?
Marking on the screen. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, painter's tape, because it comes off nice and clean.
So okay.
Gaff tape sometimes leaves that.
Oh yeah. So where was I gonna go with this is a really good segue was like even talking like little gadgets like that. What are the different, like what would you say the different focal points in the cameras? I think that'd be a really cool like subject, because like even if someone that's listening to this that like, oh, that we could use this in a corporate world, or hey, we have a theme park where there's a mountain way over there, or if we have an art installation where, you know, these are all different distances, you know what I mean? And like in my experience and in my, you know, in all my time, you've dealt from anything between 10 feet to 3,000 feet of throw. What's some typical ranges that you've maxed out on a lens on?
Yeah, there's never a typical. Yeah, there's never a typical. But so one of the
sorry, I maxed out like that was the first for me. Sorry.
So we did the Saturn 1B rocket at Kennedy Space Center. Oh, and I don't know if you ever been to the rocket garden. It's not real deep. I mean, you have the giant rocket, which is 168, you know, plus or minus a little bit, 168 feet wide, long, but the rocket garden is not real deep. So they had the truss towers there, and then our camera turned out to be almost like 35 or 40 feet away from that rocket. And you would think there's no way you're going to see 168 feet from 35 feet, but we did. We have a super ultra wide lens. It's got a correcting lens in it, so it's a fisheye, but the correcting lens flattens everything out. So it looks like a kind of like a panorama view. So it just comes out real thin. And so when you look at that, we're 35 feet away from this rocket, looking 168 feet. From one camera,
right?
And it's flat. It's not distorted. There's very minimal distortion in that lens.
Huh.
So
let's say you have an object. I know this. You know, the camera knowledge in me really wants to ask this. So like, so let's say you do have something vertical. Do you flip your camera?
Yeah, you can.
With the sensor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool. Well, man, thanks for tagging along. I think this is really. I think
thanks for the coffee.
Man, no problem. And I forgot to get a receipt. I'm about to be yelled at. So like,
for your $10.
Yeah. Oh man, this might be.
We may have to extend this video and go back and get your receipt.
Man, I'm coffeeed out. The first time I did this was 5 trips, and I was like, I should have got decaf like the third one. So but yeah, this might be the last one because of this receipt. I don't know.
It's no more coffee.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No, the one receipt. Yeah. So like to kind of wrap it up, man. Anything that you want to share? Just final thoughts. I think first of all, I think I was really impressed by it, especially being heavy projection color, the blend anyway. Mm-hmm. I was really impressed, and nothing really impresses me.
Wait till you see the dome.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm really excited about that one. So, anything you want to share to kind of wrap it up?
No, thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still holding out for Jerry Seinfeld, but
you know what? I think this is a good entry. Like, you know what to expect.
Well, maybe Jerry will see this and then go, "Oh, I need him."
Yeah. Hopefully, man. We'll see, and I hope they don't get mad that we redid the titles of it. So hopefully, no one gets mad. So like, well, thanks, man. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, and then hopefully we'll see you soon, and people kind of reach out to see what's next for it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what is ahead. And yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, thanks.
Yep.